videos, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute flower ball ornament, which also can double as a diffuser. So you're going to need your hook, your globe, your flowers, and one sprig of greenery. You can always add more. Oh, and don't forget a glue gun and glue sticks. So most importantly, whether you're using a hook or if you want something longer because you're going to hang this as a diffuser, you can thread a string through or twine. You're going to want to do that first because once you start gluing, it's going to be a lot harder. The flowers may have some extra stuff on the ends, right? The way they're created, the end piece just may be too long. So you're going to take some scissors and you're going to trim. What's important is that you don't ever cut where the string holds the flower together. So you can get as low as you want, but you cannot cut too close to that string. You'll see underneath the bottom. Some have a lot of excess, so definitely trim that away. The more you have on the end of the flower, the more it's going to stick out and the more you would need to cover, which is why you want to trim them down fairly short so that they're easy to put on your ornament. So once you've got all of that stuff trimmed up, you are ready to glue and get going. The greenery we're going to use a little bit later, so just set that aside. All right, so we're going to start. You have to kind of hold that hook up, and you can do this one of two ways. You can glue right on the flower. I would make sure you use quite a bit of glue. This way works good, but you're going to need to be a little patient. We want to make sure that once you glue it down, that you hold it. Do not let go right away. You want to make sure that it's got at least 30 seconds or so to hold. Here, I kind of gave up too quick because I wanted to show you. So you'll see this one kind of falls off later and then I have to go back and re-glue it. So be patient, give it that 30 seconds to cool. And let the glue really harden. So the other way you can do it is right on the ornament. You're going to see I do a little swirl with my glue gun. That's so that when I pull away, I don't get those glue strings that act like spider webs. So I'm going to hold both of these down, again, giving them time to cool, not rushing or working too fast so that I don't have my flowers fall off. Once you've got those and they're in place, we're going to do the smaller flowers, the little roses on the opposite side. Now the flowers you have may be a little bit different and that's okay. So coming in, adding a little extra glue to that one because it needs it. And there we go. So we're going to pop our little rose in. This rose, again, kind of wiggle it, play around with the angle, how you like it. You're trying to cover the inside, or not the inside, but like that little spot where the ornament has the top and the hook is. So we're coming in. It's a little off center because I did not have my camera set up right, but you get the gist. So we're gluing and holding again. So just taking your time. When you are pressing down on those flowers to hold them, please make sure that you do not squish your flowers or press too hard. You can always go back and re-glue. So there you can see we've got the top sort of just opened up. And I'm going to wait to glue that last flower in because I want to put some greenery in first before I go in with that last flower. So adding extra glue if you need it anywhere before you go. Looks cute as is, but now we're ready for a little bit more. So cut apart your greenery. This sprig of ruscus, we're going to cut this into 5 mini pieces. You could go a little rogue here and you could cut individual stems if you wanted. So I'm just going to cut nice and low and have those little triads where those 3 leaves that are stuck together because it makes a really cute embellishment on the side of the ornament. So once you cut each of those, you'll have your 5 pieces. I take the smallest piece and I set it aside. And then you want to think that these are all a little bit bigger than smaller and smaller and smaller. So I try to take the 2 bigger pieces and have them opposite each other and the 2 smaller pieces and have those opposite each other. So I'm going to trim down the stems on these. You don't need that stem. It's just going to stick in and make these stick out funny. So cut them as close as you can to where they are all still attached together and not just separate leaves, unless you want to go in with separate leaves, when you can. And then we're going to come in and glue again right onto the ornament, right in between each of those flowers. And we're going to put that little sprig in, and just like you did with the flowers, you're going to push it in and you're going to hold until it feels like it's pretty solidly where you want it, and do the same thing as you go around. So add your glue, add your sprig. I swear when I was filming this that this was all on camera, but I was not paying attention because my daughter was asking me questions about something she wanted to get for Christmas. So going all the way around, and so you'll see in between each of those 2 flowers, there's 4 spots that you're going to put those little pieces of greenery. And I just kind of make sure to stick the bigger ones in a little farther and leave the smaller ones out a little, so it feels kind of even in terms of how that greenery looks. And if there's a spot that needs more coverage, maybe using the bigger leaves there. Now you can always add extra to this. This would be super fun to go and even add some fresh pine too. Or if you've got little berries that you want to add, or outside you have little baby mini pine cones, would be super sweet added to this as well. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that top up. I've got that glue string I can just see hanging. I'll probably pull it eventually, but glue strings are the best. The colder your house is, the more glue strings you're gonna have. There we go, I finally got it. So I added my glue to the top, and I'm adding that baby little mini flower right in. And you're never gonna get it right on top because the hook is there, so you wanna just see which side has the bigger space. And then we'll cover a little bit with the greenery in there. That last piece that I have is going to be your friend here. So I'm going to actually take that last piece of greenery and break those little leaves apart. You don't need to use scissors. Honestly, you can just pull this and rip it and you're good to go. Tiny dabs of glue. Be careful here because you're going to have all those glue strings. I do that little swirl to minimize, and I'm going to poke those in between the flowers and add that little embellishment up at the top. It is just a small accent, nothing too crazy. And once you've added in all 3 leaves, you're pretty much going to be done. So my last tip is, instead of a hook, you could use a pretty ribbon. You could use a twine, especially if you want to hang this in a car or in a window or somewhere else as a diffuser. To do this as a diffuser, the only thing you really need to do is take your essential oil, your fragrance oil, and you're going to drop that right into the grooves of your flower. I don't tend to put it on like an outer petal, but the inner grooves or on the back side of your flower. Rescent when that scent wears off. And this would be a super cute accent just about anywhere. Enjoy.